Welcome back. This is Phalcon PHP Framework Part 5. Today I will talk about Phalcon Framework Controller. This topic is related to Phalcon PHP Framework Part 1 and Part 4. If you not view Part 1 and Part 4, please visit first these two content and then start again this Phalcon Framework Part 5. Phalcon MVC Software Architectural Pattern. What is MVC? MVC is Model View Control Pattern, which divide the application logic into three interconnect elements, separating internal representation of information of the three applications. Inside in Phalcon model is represent the information data of the application and the rule the manipulating data. Models are primarily used for managing the rules of interaction with corresponding database table. And view represent the user interface of your application. View are often HTML file with embedded PHP code that perform tasks related solely to the presentation of the data. View handle the job of providing data of the web browser or other tools that is used to make represent from your application more. And controller. Inside in controller are representable for processing the incoming request for the web browser, interrogation the model for data, and passing the data on the view for presentation more. And Phalcon namespace is an important part of all of the architecture. Namespace can be used to avoid the class name collision. This means that if you have two controllers in an application with the same name, a namespace can be used to help PHP understand that they are two different classes. Namespaces are also useful when creating bundle or models. If you can understand namespace, first you sharp your PHP skill and continue MVC structure of Phalcon. Now open business logic and open controller. First you read this basic concept of controller and look at this routing pattern. I will discuss routing in next content. This time I say a simple concept. What is routing? Routing is a URL parameter system. Look at this URL system. There are invoice and list, and two parameter is 2 and 25. How to create this routing? First you set this module name, and next controller and controller action. What is controller action? Controller action is a controller function. It is a controller action, and it is a controller. You can set several parameter. Parameter is function or action variable. You set this parameter inside on their index action $set parameter and parameter. It is simple parameter example. Look inside on there how to define parameter inside on there. Let's create a let's create a controller example. Open your code editor. Take a PHP script file, dash name, not folder, dash name user controller. .php user controller .php. Okay, it is our controller. Our controller name is user controller. Take a PHP pattern and now write declare stick type on for error control, and now write this namespace app module backend controller, because we set our default controller is, where is dispatcher, set default namespace app module backend controller. We set our default namespace, this namespace. Back to user controller, use a namespace. This name is use Phalcon MVC controller. And write a class. This class name is similar to our file name, related to our file class name. Look at that. Our file name is user controller. I set similar this user controller. And now take action. Our default user action is index action. Index action. It is a function. I write this function. Our function name is index action. Open browser and write user slash Phalcon slash user. Okay, this time it is null because we cannot define view action. This time I disable my view action. We write this view disable. Okay, and write issue in this time we disable our view action and write hello world. Okay, reload. Look at that, our hello world show in our browser. I write another action. Okay, copy this. I write another action name is login action. Okay, we open our browser and write this URL, reload. Yes, it is our new action function, and we set this hello logging action. Now we take an parameter, that is parameter 1. I set null, and parameter it is similar to our local class function, and issue this, issue parameter 1 dot and issue okay, open browser, and we take our parameter is parameter 1 and okay, let's open. Look at that, our parameter 1 is this and parameter 2 is this. I issue this inside on function. I also take break and reload. Now it is look so sweet. We follow similar these things according to Phalcon official website. Our controller, this controller, our action parameter 1, parameter 2, and it is similar this. Our controller, our action, our parameter 1 and our parameter 2, but one step is missing, but it's running, that is module. Why we not set module but our site is running? Because we set default namespace in this namespace and not set any module. If we set register module option similar this, then you take this without default namespace class controllers, then set this module name inside on this site http. Now again describe some important rules. If you write a controller class look like this, then you prefix controller and you write an action function, then we write inside in prefix this action. Look at this others, that is not action. While you type this list action, then you fetch perfectly, but if you type this route inside on URL, then you face 404 error. You take more than one parameter inside on actions. You will need to add additional code to ensure that the data passed is of the correct type, and either use the default value have correct value. If you will end up with error, for example above invoice list we set first 2 and last 10, inside on URL. Then you set a perfect value inside on this parameter. In this list action parameter, you write this inside on URL, then you face an error because we set only integer value. Therefore, we pass only integer value inside on list action. Now I describe a extraordinary class. It is important class for Phalcon framework, that is function initialize. There I set a tag that is prepared Phalcon. Okay. Now reload our browser. If you write this function, then each of the action initialize this function. I take an extraordinary option, that is controller base. Look at this function. It is a controller base. I write and I set and extend this inside on user controller now. Therefore, I write this back in controller. Okay, this base controller, and remove this. Okay, I remove this and write parent dot initialize and reload. Okay, I remove this and try again. Yes, now it's worked. Look at this title. Open, and we set our controller base initialize function. Title is Phalcon, this Phalcon, and we find this inside on there. Now I write this title set logging action. Okay, now I try again. Sorry, I face a problem. Now I try again. I cannot declare this function first bracket. Now try again. Okay, look at there, logging action Phalcon / logging action, and I write this logging action. If you take this view disable option is on there and try again, look at that, our title, because this view is now disabled. I comment this and now reload. Next section I will describe how to create Phalcon view, how to show this option. Thanks for watching.